That Wind Ranger though. Wind Ranger getting the run off, but I do hear a Spirit Breaker ult on the side, and it looks like Necro's been caught out of position. Does get the scythe off though before he goes down, so he doesn't go down empty-handed. So close. Prey is running now, and he's a very fast hero. Tiny, hungry, goes for the beach ball play, and is absolutely successful with it. Love a beach ball play. Used to get those all the time back in my day. Oh, it's just so much heal, especially with the new facets. Oh my god, they decided to charge in onto Gabala. Gabala might be out of position here. Gets off the scatter shot, but oh, down she goes. But honestly, I think we are going to see a pretty fierce game tonight. From what you've told me before, of course, we went live, and from what I've seen from this upper division, it seems like it's going to be a bit of a brawl all the way into the captain's. Dire draft seems like the easier draft to execute, but 100%. I've been proven wrong before. I'm sure you remember the Venomancer from last night, so let's see what they... Let's see top of that Morphling. There is the save we were talking about, though. Is it enough to keep this Morphling alive? The swap gets him away. You mentioned that earlier, that Benji would be there to swap afterwards, and now they may just lose Johnny instead of... But she has so much damage and so much harass for the first few minutes of the game, and we're seeing that applied here onto that troll. He's feeling it.
Especially just putting 1 point in win run and then just trading 3 seconds.
They're going to try and shut this Axe down. He still does have his tower, so his team can come if they want him. And Huncho does have a whole lot of damage on this Sand King, but his Spidey senses a tinky pot, keeps him alive from that Venge wave of terror.
That is an expensive salve. It only did like the first 1 second of value, but it was the only second he needed. That's a very expensive movement.
Exactly.
The Shadow Demon double.
Let's go, Slaughter Gang. That's the kind of plays we need to see to get you back into this game. Let's have a look at how much gold just swung towards Slaughter Gang there. Good God.
1,800 gold, at least. 100% you are 100% going to get, but because he opted not to go the Blink Dagger, he just doesn't. Yeah. And it doesn't impact Gooby at all. Wowee.
Another charge out on Johnny. Blink Dagger's 40 gold away on the Mars. That's a 13-minute Blink Dagger in a Necro lane too, so pretty impressive.
Yeah, he's made up for his... God, it's so obnoxious, man.
But,
why does he keep move speed?
But something that I just want to point out before this game gets on the roll, because this won't come across on stream, is there's just a running meme between me and my mates. We call him Lalul for the fun of it. So
Johnny drops the brother patience from the BM unpause from...
Valor is now on the high ground. The Blade Mail comes out, and that Morphling needs to be careful. He doesn't kill himself, but he does blow up the Axe. Axe is dead. That creates a bit of space in these fights for Dire now. Looks like Reverie is just elected to use his ult on the Spirit Breaker. Before he had this Bull Rush talent, Boxy was doing exactly what we're seeing now. Now he has the Bull Rush talent. Like... it's so obnoxious. You're saves out, he can't, and all of a sudden Johnny is caught out of position and dead once again. Tombstone keeps...
He has that 100 HP and he gets him Tombstone.
Yep, keeps that Spirit Breaker alive.
He's just not going to get... If you put the Shadow Demon ulti on the Ursa, you can even get the Ags for a break. The Ursa, the only way he can actually like get the short end of the Demonic Purge
is the most broken hero in Dota, and he's not going to just take the Morphling, he's going to take the Shadow Demon as the Axe blinks in with the dunk! Let's go, Gubala! What is this Axe player? Wow, he is ripping and tearing!
It wasn't that fight, but it was actually the fight before where, yet again, Reverie was randomly... Like, they were trying to randomly go on Reverie as they were going on mid, and there was 2 fights happening for, like, the 30th time this match, where people are just like, oh, he's even going for a halberd on Sand King. He's doing anything he can to live. Tiny's almost got Yules, the Venge has the Ags, but, yeah, they have no item progression on... That was a very unexpected and abrupt ending, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, the 27 minutes, not the fastest game I've seen. I saw Devious knock a stack in 22, 23 minutes.
As a
To a
pos 5
troll.
Ruby.
To a troll as well. Like, there was
Yeah,
an
he
invoker there.
out-damaged Hancho George.
Yeah.
Like, what is that? He out-damaged Jonathan Sins on the Mars. That's one of his best.
Out makes it more interesting for me, makes it more interesting for the people that are out there. And lately, there's been a whole bunch of stomps. Last night, obviously, you had that fantastic stunner on top of that. That crowd can go nowhere. It is absolutely gone. Oh, the Shadow Demon gets out just in time there. They drop the lightning bolt. Meanwhile,
Tiny not
sorry,
so lucky. What is going on?
bottom. Tiny
Across the
gets
map.
killed.
Alright, so on Slaughter Gang, we got Huncho George. He's well renowned with a lot of his mid laners. I have a feeling his Snapfire might see some action tonight, maybe some bans. RF they do. Sorry, in a past life, he was called Noseholder, and he really holds that name when it comes to playing Naga, like the gang's favor. Because I will say, Radiant's buying a couple silly items, if you ask me. Like the Dagon, been practical. This Axe needs a BKB Shiva's refresher. He needs these types of items to. I think he was blood grenaded. That's why he was a little slow on the uptake there. He has boots now, but I don't think he's gonna try. I wouldn't expect him to. Oh wow.
Whenever I played Earth Spirit mid, I was picking it up specifically for those heals. It just yes, the damage was good and it plays well with Earth Spirit's kit, but the amount of times that I would roll in, start a fight, drop the
pit, and Slaughter Gang took second pick. Slaughter Gang and second pick Dire again. So again, this should favor the AU rejects for their drafting phase. First ban on the
odds and just an increase in HP pool. Then all of a sudden these heroes that are blowing heroes up at the start of the game really start to drop off. There's a spear, Windy, into the tree, absolutely obliterated.
lot here. The Morphling is free farm, but I will say the Ursa. Oh,
Tiny
lane,
goes down to bottom lane. They drop the tombstone and they secure the Tiny. Razorban? No, there was no Razorban. Not from my memory, anyway.
Because, like, if you think about it, Razor is very similar to the Snapfire in a lot of regards, except it just buys defensive items, whereas the Snapfire... that's it. If they lost to it, they'd ban it. You're right, 100%.
100%. They might think, you know what, we can deal with it. It didn't cause us any troubles last time. All the IO was a ball to be thrown around by the Tiny. They'd be wrong, the IO had a huge impact. Peers out, Winxing running, but the vessel is on top of him. Cold snap, but Mars is coming, and guys, you need to be careful because a big Mars ult can appear at any second. There it is. Good God. Especially after that first game where they just get stomped out of existence. To see them just come back with such ferocity and annihilate, just annihilate this Dire team. Like, what could the potential as a position for? We saw Seb playing a couple of seasons ago, quite a bit, and a few other heroes were picking her up as well. But now she's universal, and we're not seeing her being played as much as a support.
But they can just go Roche on Radiant if they want. There's so many options to extend their lead even further. Got you guys full travels.
Can we talk about the fact that we've got the Manta.
Necrophos can be a mid, Necrophos can be a 1. I know Gachi's played it in the past, so it's incredibly flexible on the AU Rejects draft, and I honestly couldn't tell you how it's going to shake out. What I reckon they will do the entire map, just building the network leads. I think Reverie sees the top lane, looks good, and Axe is waiting for him up there as well.
Johnny, 200 gold.
Silly what Gooby's done with his build, but when he went in, he did heal like 800 health off his Dagon. So they are doing it, but I don't know if they're going to be able to continue to do it as the game progresses.
Was available.
I think it was
Prey still wants it. Spirit Breaker just harassing this game. Ult comes out. Yules to keep him alive for now. And his Shadow Blade.
Actual defensive item now, so it's going to get a lot harder to kill him after that, you know?
Now, what I will say,
the travels to farm efficiently.
Is Dire had some really, really good vision in this early game. I'm not sure if you saw it, but it was scouting.
That guy's not squishy by any means.
None of these,
Yes, I'm just like
none of
piss them
these,
off.
none of the Universal heroes are squishy. God, and it's the worst, dude.
Charge on top. This could be a
Hold
breakout fight on
on.
top.
Though this Ursa might be a little bit out of position. He's going to try and take what he can because he did get that Wisdom Rune, but I think they'll take his life in return. Swap back, get stunned. Shadow Demon, you need to be careful. That is a big scary bear. But if it leaves it much longer, this snowball might be too big to slow down when you're sitting at the bottom of the hill. And I'm really, really worried for Radiant. Rubik, this damage coming out of Rubik pre 4 minutes is absolutely insane. Good God.
Yeah,
It's
RFK
1,000
is playing
damage.
Maximum.
1,000 damage.
And Maximum.
Venji to
Oh,
the back.
Bench died bottom. Oh,
Yep,
so
yep,
this is
yep.
not the worst movement around the map. I mean, we're just waiting for the Shadow Demon. They've gone for an Undying. One of the few saves in the game that doesn't get ruined by Shadow Demon. You can just buy Shard and put someone in a Tombstone for 3 seconds, or until it breaks. A good matchup and a good start to his game.
This Necro, though, I'm looking at these last hits. I mean, he was going to have a good lane regardless, but he is accelerating at this point.
Yeah.
Spirit Breaker, he's pinned to that tree, the Invoker's here, and I don't think that Necro is going to be around much longer. Beautiful setup from the boys. Well played.
Yeah.
Well played.
Like in the numbers, but the amount of saves that the Undying was able to do, and the amount of like, even if it's just like a Tombstone save or just the Greaves keeping someone alive, that prevents like 10 to 15 Mars response for probably for Johnny Sins.
So these guys have done their research on each other then. What I saw then was an Io pick. Obviously, Io, one of my favorite heroes, one of the best heroes in the game. Even the Troll is a pretty spooky hero this patch. It sort of feels like when it works, but when it doesn't, it doesn't. I know you can say that about every hero, but when it's a good Troll game, this hero just feels unstoppable. And I know the Oz... Yeah. Garchi's going to try and man-fight the Reverie here. Reverie switching to Strength to try and get away, and it looks like he may just do it. Shadow Demon pops the ult on top of Garchi. They're thinking about it, but the rest of the lane, they can! Double damage on the Invoker. Does the Invoker stay to try and get more? No, Alexa just leave. He's got what he can. He's hanging. He wants it. Yeah. Especially when you've got the cow stacking up on top. Who did? Yeah, the cow did 1,300 damage.
Good.
The cow did 1,300 damage. God.
The last pick Zeus has really paid off here. The vision game.
Something that I can't see, but they seem confident with the way that they locked their heroes. They took the Tiny and they immediately snapped up Snap and IO. So this is an opener for them. They would and Aftershock. And there was some interaction there that would permanently lock people into a stun. So hopefully they don't pick a punch and we don't see that sort of action. Hey, Troll comes out.
I guess I should have seen the IO coming for Raccoon, but it's so hard to say, right? Because there are like so many of these players.
So
he even got a Rampage this game.
Yeah.
He got it a Rampage at one point. Like.
Yeah. Alright.
Same
Well,
value. Yeah.
Happy Goob absolutely kills it. What a phenomenal game of Dota, and in my opinion, possibly the best hero in all of Dota. This hero does so much. Okay, first of all, the illusion damage buffed. Phenomenal. We already knew Destroy Witch. There's a charge onto Johnny, and Johnny is not going to see that cow coming through the trees. He's punching him. He does have the ult, so he sends him back to his team. And is his team going to get there in time? Yeah, of course they are. It's Zeus. Zeus doesn't even need to be. A whole bunch of damage, and Johnny goes down. There is a bear lurking on the sidelines. No, it's Gubala once again jumping on those supports from the back line. Gubala having a phenomenal game this game. Slip out of my grasp once again, but the Shadow Blade, he slinks away. Raccoon, you nerd.
Fighting and fighting off screen is what I mean. And it just keeps happening every time.
Hey, shard up on Shadow Demon, one of the better shards in the game. Looks like Raccoon wants to dive, he wants that Rubik, but the Blood Grenades has come out on Raccoon himself, and he goes down, and now Gubala in a bit of trouble. That troll has a wand, Gubala, you need to run, and that's it. That's a double kill in the top lane, straight off the... Magnetize, a stun had come out from a support to keep me in position, and then that Dagon burst was enough to just keep me alive, keep me in the fight. Especially now he's lost his strength scaling, not just his damage, so allies as well.
I see.
So I mean that Shadow, that Spirit Breaker dies a lot earlier if he does have Promulgate there. But again, he's...
Whole game, he definitely felt stronger than he was. But at the end of the day, it's young Harold on 15k damage, Gachi on 21k damage, and then
there, and that Spirit can still have a whole bunch of impact if it can somehow survive, but I don't think it is going to survive here because the bear is on top of it, and down goes the Spirit as
they don't have
well.
the damage anymore.
Hey, I've been wrong before.
I'd say he needs to get active around the 15-minute mark with his shard. He needs to purchase Radiance and shard on the dot at 15 if he wants to have any hope of winning this. It's
Here comes Io! Oh, Io brings Gachi with him!
Gachi.
I'm not sure that's the play, Io, and the GG is called.
He just GG's.
Yeah.
Winching, what are you doing? Oh no.
Oh, Reverie's popped his BKB and he wants in, but all of a sudden the Mooncow is on his back line and keeping his support a whole lot busier. Oh my god, that axe call is so phenomenal! He catches 3! 1, 2, 3!
Is really well, and that's how he's going to try and shine, right?
Okay,
Again,
okay.
I've never seen much of like the Raccoon Spirit Breaker here, but it's going to be really, really rough to enable tools that you can work like to actually still have a game no matter what. And this is also a really well-balanced hero to set up for the last pick, where I'm sure Huntress have Radiance.
Hold on, Huntress bought a Radiance. Maybe for the mischance, but I don't think it's going to matter when that bear is just on top of you, bullying you. Johnny doing his best to keep his Sand King alive. Buyback from Spirit Breaker, they want to end this game. I also noticed immediately that they've decided to ban out the Storm. Obviously Storm, IO is a combo as well, so they didn't elect to get rid of that. Yep, yep. So
they're
what's
not going to get pick Huskard here.
So, are you rejects looking for a poly the micro? And again, Hunter doesn't respect it, gets caught out, and this time he brings a Necro for the Necro stacks. How many stacks does he have now? Let's have a look. 3 sides.
He is currently on 3 with the upper division is very healthy this season. We actually have 7 teams this time. A lot of them are relatively balanced compared to each other. We don't have like there are maybe like 1 or 2 teams who might end up being the favorites.
So much trouble this entire game, but are they holding? There's 2 heroes here and a Spirit that might want to deal with Gachi, but no. Down goes the Sand King. Sand King does have buyback. There is that knockback from the Mooncow once.
The reason why it fell off a cliff is because when Tiny came in the meta, he could literally 2-shot her with 2 tosses. The hero just doesn't have enough health and armor in this stage of the game. And
still winning his lane, so who am I to judge? Shadow Demon, best hero. Absolutely best
That's his innate ability, right? That gives you the 2% stacking.
Correct. Yep.
Okay, yeah, got it.
But you need to pick an MVP for me.
Oh, okay. It's tough. There's a lot of good competitors, but I got to give it to Gubala. So if you look at like the laning stage, yes, he's top 3.
100, isn't it? For Ags?
Yeah, but it's got the
for the yep. For the eat. I see what you're saying. Yep.
Sorry, 6,058. I was thinking 68 for some reason. But yeah, it can be. Last night it was an EU team, but I can't quite remember the name.
Damo, you're in chat. Tell me. Lalul. It was Lalul. Thank you, Damo. You legend. Yeah. Lalul, our boy Lalul. Picking the Sand King and making it look hype.
Invoker was like they saw every mid laner they could put on the Radiant team into it, and they decided Invoker will just win all these matchups, which is kind of rough for Tiny, unfortunately. Could just go back into his roots of like playing LD, playing all these really memey pos ones. Maybe they get Gooby on Razor or something. I think it was completely overlooked. I don't even think it was banned. I don't know how to.
I didn't see it for 4 times now. For 3 or 4 times. He's not.
I think I saw 1.
Yeah, he's not as far behind as like as he should be. You know, he's it's still 1,000, just unbelievable. And I wonder if IO decides to go for, is it Blitzkrieg or Kritzkrieg, the heal one, the extra magic resistance? Could be pretty good, but then there's not a whole lot of magic team on. Camps and build up that triangle. But the thing is, everyone knows he's going to be doing that, and so they're going to block his camps. As a 5, this hero just does.
Not be playing bottom very much. Notice Mars is under his tower. Just like
Cold Snap comes out. Harold's in trouble. No lucky bashes from Prey, so he sort of disappears into the tree. Bottle refill from Raccoon. Okay.
He doesn't have to worry about it too much.
Bottles filled once
He
again.
has just rushed a vessel, and this 1k gold lead, you have to note, is in regards like the bottom lane will just be doing some kind of counter on whatever mid that is picked.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Well, we see the Necro come out. Now Necro IO is a combo, and a pretty spooky dooky combo. The heal is.
Yeah, they're my competitors, of course, and I think it's going to be a really hype series.
That is exciting. That's what I want to hear. I love when the game is competitive. Competitive gaming is what I'm all about.
I do look like an idiot, but it's really hard to predict because they're doing some silly stuff as well.
Yeah, I can't predict it either. So don't you worry.
Yeah, Voca mid, pos 1 troll.
Oh, it's going to make everyone in the Dota scenes cringe. But I sometimes even elect to pick up, if I'm having a good lane, to pick up the Locket early on IO. Sometimes pre-mech. They are doing it. They're managing to hold on to this game.
The lead is slightly worsening, but I got a comment. I did say I think it's a little forward. Getting a bottom's fine too, but it doesn't have like the same momentum that they want.
That was 900 gold to that tiny as well. That's a lot of gold. Going the way of a hungry little support. Although
Brawlhalla, my dreams are answered.
This is what we want to see. This is proper Dota. It's a slobber knocker.
Oh my God,
the only
yeah.
downside is
Hilarious.
trying to keep the camera in the right place at the right time because there's so much action going on. Speaking.
Get a bit sleepy because they kind of like imploded off the lanes, but game 2, oh my.
Spicy, absolutely spicy. Well, I'll tell you what, if I do end up casting, and his team is here, out comes the ult. Johnny gets the swap off to try and interrupt that Shadow. Oh, hang on, Shadow Demon is on the sideline. Can he throw any Diadem too? It felt like they were on the back foot the entire game. And we saw how good these players can play. We saw how strong they were in the first game. Slaughter Gang absolutely killed it. And yet all of a sudden...
Where it follows you around, because...
I can answer that one. For once, I can answer that one. Because in the pro scene, they're deciding they just value the invisibility more. And once you've got the Bloods look at that Snapfire, the IO's here, decides against it. I think he makes the right play there.
Gonna be no Wisdom Rune steals today. Or this because if he's got the Enrage buff up when he gets hit, and that's only 2.5 seconds, but that's 2.5 seconds, you're not moving, you're not able to use your attack speed buff. You can't, it's insane.
Not much of a gap. Oh, they're looking. Axe is here, gets the blink call once again, throws the Dagon out and drops the... Hunter's down here. Did they scout him on this ward? Yeah, they did now. Okay.
They see him now, yeah. This is another good ward. As you can see, the Dire has almost the exact same ward play.
Fateful, but Raccoon gets the power shot and returning because the troll! Looks like the Mukau has come to play. Raccoon doing her best to try and get out of there, but they're on top of her and another blood grenade goes out. Gets off the wind run, she's running, but the zap again from... Okay.
I don't like that. I really don't like that.
Tell me why.
Okay, so this wind range
What's wrong with me? Why can't I feel?
Played a lot a month ago, and then it fell off a cliff.
See how we go. Is he lagging, or has he just got alcohol in his system?
Rev's had a beer. So Reverie has been hitting the beers in the mid game, like between matches and during the break.
Yeah, some Herald players. I want to see them running at each other before 30 seconds, before the bell, diving under towers. That real bup style gameplay. Series against Team Dog Cage. I've been messaged by many, many, many people who have told me that they were super, super impressed with your gameplay and your team's gameplay last night.
Thank
And
you.
so do
Okay, so
something
that really
about this
throws
tiny hero, Dota.
that throws a bit of a spanner in the works for AU Rejects. They need to get this Roche while it's top, so they can continue to push like the map until the Sand King whips out a Blink Dagger, which he is pretty farmed as well. Top 3 net worth, only 300 behind.
Raccoon's having a really cool right game so far.
Okay, so
Wait, hold up!
both
Did they just catch the? They just caught the Necro.
Necro's dead.
What?
He bought travels. I hate it when ball players do this. He gets a lot of heroes they just can't get them 100 zeros. They just can't kill them.
Hard to fight against a team that has a 30k lead, you know?
Yeah, that's just... If they weren't 30k up and they were Tune on 9.3, it's very similar to the POS 3 on Gooby. They just don't have the damage to go through these guys, and they don't quite have the survivability after the Invoker gets a very quick Vessel. Young Harold just farming up, doing what he's supposed to do. Doesn't matter if he gets like he's not pressured to do anything early, right? He's just got to take his time, farm it up.
What's this tri-lane bottom?
Okay, farming. He will eventually win them this game if he itemizes correctly and just gets his timings. Relocate in.
Relo on mid, and immediately that huge Mars ult comes. Elite Slayer 60, 60, 60. You know, like I want really, really creative names. Oh, okay, let me talk. This is the strongest support in all of Dota. Tiny, and the Tiny now has the Rubik rotating in on top of him. The Cold Snap comes out, and so does that huge blast from the Rubik. They're going to try and run him down. Lift goes up, throws him back into the Tornado. He comes down with not very much HP, and I think that's just a dead Tiny on my side. Decides to take the Shadow Servant. Doesn't go with Promulgate Gate. Probably undervalues it like most players, but Shadow Servant is still just so good. So
tell me, what does this one do? Hopefully they don't like have a triple lane stomp into a 20-minute match. I'm expecting some good, healthy Dota here, some good team fights. I don't know, maybe just Brawlhalla. Something everyone can enjoy.
down by Kubala again.